Most employer brand practitioners will tell you about some of the common challenges that they have. I'm a team of one. I have no budget. I can't seem to get through to the decision makers about the benefit and the value of engaging in this type of activity. These are things that we all have experienced, and there is an answer to making slow progress toward fixing these for your organization permanently. All of this kind of amounts to a lack of sponsorship, a lack of understanding or education or awareness about what employer branding is at your organization. Something is happening for you if you're experiencing these challenges ad nauseum over and over again, year over year, facing the duplication of effort, the lack of budget, the lack of understanding, hyper vigilance around these bottom of the funnel, how many hires am I going to make metrics, is an indication that there is a mindset of fear and trepidation around a new activity, an emerging discipline like employer branding. It's also indicative of a propensity toward reactive recruitment. Now, reactive recruitment is a bit of a plague on your workforce strategy. It's a blight. It's not going to serve you well, yet so many organizations across the globe still engage in reactive recruitment. What is reactive recruitment, you ask? Well, it is the opposite of proactive recruitment. So, what it actually means is that you have a sweeping mindset at your organization that the talent that you need is just going to be there for you whenever you desire it, which we know absolutely unequivocally now to be false. It presupposes that there are passionate, purpose aligned people out there just waiting to be snapped up by your organization, when we now know that due to the global skills shortage, due to these, watershed moments we keep having in our workforce history, and the indelible lever of choice being kind of the hallmark of this era of employee experience, that's just not true. If you wait until you absolutely critically need the talent to start to engage in employer branding, it's going to go poorly for you. It's going to lead to a lot of frustration, a lot of over promising and under delivering, and it's just not a great strategy. There needs to be internal momentum generated for your employer brand. And like most strategies that impact the entirety of the organization, that does start at the top. So you need at least one bought in executive, influential sponsor of your employer brand activities in order for it to go anywhere. If you don't have the attention or the ear of anybody on the executive team, of anyone who has influence at leadership tables, you can basically forget it. You need somebody who has the boots on the ground at those decision making tables to advocate for you and sponsor the work. What is the answer to all of this? What can we do as employer brand champions to move the dial here in some kind of a meaningful way, to get that sponsorship, to generate that momentum, and to shift perspectives on employer branding? One of the first things that you can do is assemble a team of stakeholders, people who are passionate about employer branding, passionate about positive culture change, and really want to make a difference. This should represent a good cross section of your HR function with your business function and anyone in between whose relationship is going to be really beneficial to the longevity of employer branding at your organization. You should create it as an advisory committee, schedule a cadence of regular touch points, and make sure that you're running your employer brand strategy through this group of stakeholders. The continuity and the regularity of meeting and discussing employer brand with various people who represent different areas of your business is an essential activity. Even if it doesn't seem in the first 2, 3, 4 months that you're getting anything out of it, it is embedding a mindset of openness toward employer branding. And this is true of any strategy, really, but particularly when you're trying to gain momentum and buy in for your employer brand. Let goals be your guide. So meet with those business influencers, meet with those skeptics, gain their buy-in by demonstrating to them how you deliver against clear, measurable goals. My recommendation for starting this is to look at the employer brand funnel: awareness, education, and conversion. What layer of the funnel are we dealing with? Are we trying to get people interested? Are we trying to change mindsets? Are we trying to share information or propagate some new ideas about who we are as a employer? Build out your goals, make them specific and tangible and tactical and relevant to the specific layer of the funnel that you're dealing with. And I love this concept. It's when a TV show will embed a different storyline mid-season into a series, featuring a different cast of characters slightly, as a way of essentially auditioning the concept for a studio to potentially pick up. It's called a backdoor pilot. It fits within the script, it fits within the plot of the original show, but it's kind of like, hey, like, wouldn't you like to see more of these characters? Isn't that a cool way to think about employer branding? Wouldn't you like to see a little bit more of this? Typically, it is a very scarce landscape budget wise when it comes to employer branding. So you may only get a few $1,000s a year comparatively to do a couple of things. You need to be judicious. You need to think about where you're going to get the most impact for your money. You're going to want to think about what talent pools are most relevant to you this year and where you can really showcase and shine. And when you do that, and you think clearly and strategically about those different types of things, you can plan different backdoor pilots, you can plan different tactics and narrative storytelling features that give your stakeholders and the business leaders a little bit of a taste of what could be if there was maybe a little bit more investment released. I had an experience with this in the technology field when I was working in finance. We started off 100% organic. We got the go ahead to work with a select group of leaders. Thankfully, we had some good champions. One or two executives signed up and said, I will be an executive voice in this external social campaign. And 100% organically, we generated some traction. Then we took that back to the quarterly meeting and we showcased it in front of the other tech executives. We got two more to sign up. Then there was a little bit of budget. Then lo and behold, we have a whole advocacy platform emerging, and we've grown our reach by something like 10, 20,000. Patience, creativity, and resourcefulness, these are the tools of the employer brander. And I also think that we just have an innate understanding of how important relationships are. Building relationships, showcasing the wins, highlighting your progress, being transparent about what your goals are. These are the ways to gain internal momentum. I know that it is a bit of slow progress, but keep at it, because relationships and change all take time. I want to announce a really exciting new partnership with Cliquify. I am actually now a blogger on the Cliquify platform. They're this incredible social hub for your employer brand where you can, really create a vision and then extend it to your team and extend it to social media all through one very easy to use platform. Their blog has tons of thought leadership, and as of this week, you can go and find me as a blogger on their platform. The first post that I published actually went live just recently, and it's about generating and gaining internal momentum for your employer brand. How do we get at those key stakeholder groups that we really need to get at? And how do we start to move the boulder up the hill of educating and informing and inspiring key people within the organization on how employer brand can really help you shape the future of your organization? So please go check it out.